Grace and peace, my friends. This is yours truly, Pastor T, coming to you once again. It's Word Wednesday. Listen, my friends, are you excited about what God is sharing with you and what we're sharing with you concerning your purpose? If you're excited about that, I want you to take some time and reach out to me. I want you to go to my Facebook page, Pastor Tawana Thompson, and I want you, my friends, to express to me how these lessons are blessing or helping you, or if there's something else that you would like to hear, or questions that you have to ask about your purpose. Listen, if you have questions, I'm going to most definitely have answers for you. But listen, also those of you who have questions that I don't have answers to, a couple of things is going to happen. I'm going to pray about it and get back to you. I'm going to consult my leaders and those that are around me that I trust to give appropriate and accurate answers to the things that you're asking, and we're going to continue to dig into our purpose. Oh, listen, we don't have that much more time to walk through this, and we're not going to be able to cover everything that I would like to cover, but we're going to be going through this, and we're going to dig in as much and as deep as we can. And if you want this to continue, then I need to hear from you. I need to hear that you are looking to get involved in making sure that your purpose is fulfilled in the earth. That's right, in the church or outside of the church. So here we are, my friends. Last week, we talked about your purpose is inherent. And this week, we're going to be talking about your purpose is often or most times multiple. That's right. We're going to be talking about your purpose is oftentimes or majority of the time multiple. As you can see, there's a big tree right here, right behind me. And this tree is a tree. But a tree, listen to this, does a couple of things. A tree can give shade. A tree produces paper. Tree also can produce fruit. Tree can give it gives off oxygen. And so the tree has multiple uses, multiple purposes. And my friends, I want you to know that your purpose is multiple. So we want to get into that today, all right? So grab your pens, grab your papers. Let's go. Here we are. Just as purpose is specific to a particular individual or product, even so, that purpose may be varied and numerous. It could be spread wide and far. You may be able to sing and play. You may be able to sing, play and preach. But it doesn't take away from your uniqueness. I think that's what makes you unique. The other thing about a tree, you got trees that produce apples and pears and all kinds of things. And so you got to understand, my friend, that just because it's a tree doesn't mean it only has one purpose and one function. All right? A tree was one thing I used to climb on when I was younger. Wouldn't try that today, but it was fun to do. You could put a tree house up there. So many things you could do. Multifaceted. And my friends, that's you. We want to see what you can produce, what kind of things that you have on the inside of you that can be used in so many different facets in the marketplace and in the ministry. All right? So, as we have seen, God gave the lights he placed in the sky as a variety of purposes. The sun, for example, was created, 1, to separate the day from the night. Number 2, to mark the seasons, days, and years. Number 3, to govern the day. Number 4, to separate light from darkness. And number 5, to give light to the earth. Listen, you can find that right here in Genesis chapter 1, verses 14 through 18. So you've got to understand, as far as the sky is concerned, it produces, the sun, for example, produces all these different kinds of things. It will separate your day from the night, mark the seasons, days and years, govern the day, separate light from darkness, and give light to the earth. So this multiple purpose is visible throughout creation. Trees give us oxygen, shade, fruit. Animals provide food and clothing. Flowers beautify the earth, satisfy the bees' need for nectar, and supply pollen for the production of fruit. And men and women assume the varied roles of spouse, parent, worker, church member, and friend. This variety of purpose is again evident in the life of who? Everybody say Moses. So we want to talk to you for a few minutes about Moses. Moses was a spokesman for God to the Pharaoh of Egypt in Exodus 3 through 13. He was the warrior of God who by his uplifted hands brought victory over the Amalekites in Exodus 17, 8 through 13. He was the priest of God who mediated between God and his people in Exodus 19 through 31. the servant of God who interceded for an adulterous people in Exodus 32, 1 through 14, and the lawgiver of God who authored the first five books of the Bible. So even though he was Moses, sometimes we only see Moses as one individual, but he had many different, if you would, purposes. He was the voice of God. He was the warrior of God. He was the man of God who brought victory to the Amalekites. He was the mediator between God and the people of God. He was also the one who interceded on behalf of the people. So my friends, I want you to understand that your purpose is multifaceted. Yes, it is. All right. So I want you to be comfortable with the fact that you have more than one gift or talent, that you are capable of doing more than one thing. All right. With the multiplication of purpose, always comes different scopes of vision, which required varied actions and responses. Moses was both confidant and judge, suiting his actions and responses to meet the purpose he was fulfilling. Knowing and understanding the variety of purposes that had claims on his life influenced how well he fulfilled his overall purpose as the leader of God's people. In some respects, his ability to meet the demands of this multiplicity of purpose was made possible by the interdependent nature of purpose. You remember I talked to you about all of these things, your gifts or your purpose being interdependent, meaning all of these things are actually depending on one another. So just because he was a spokesman for God doesn't mean he couldn't intercede for the people. So he played the two roles. And my friend, a lot of us play more than one role. In my church, I still do the sound system because I still love doing the sound system. I've trained people how to do the sound system, but I also preach the gospel. I teach. There are just different aspects. On another note, in the marketplace, I understand I handle finance. I've worked in the finance aspect of the world system. And so, my friends, there are just different kinds of gifts that are in you, and they all kind of come together for one purpose. All right? So let's keep going. Moses needed Joshua, Jethro, and others to help him carry out his God-given purpose. You need to remember, my friends, no man is an island. We all need each other. And again, let's go back to the scripture. We are body fitly joined together. We all have different functions and their thing. Listen, this is one body. I got one body. I got a head, eyes, nose, mouth. But this is my one body. Got one purpose. This body was created for me to house the presence of God and to move around in the earth. But listen, my hands do one thing, my mouth do another thing, but they all work together. So I want you to understand that. All right. You were born with and for a purpose. However, that purpose may incorporate many minor facets whose purposes or intents are to fulfill the greater overall purpose for your life. Did you hear what I said? You were born with and for a purpose. However, that purpose may incorporate many minor facets whose purposes or intents are to fulfill the greater overall purpose of your life. You, my friend, may have gone to school to be a teacher. You may go to school for psychology. You may go to school for whatever you go to school for. Listen, I have a daughter who's in school right now. My daughter's in school for psychology. But my daughter is also called to be a leader among the young people. And so I believe her going to school and getting involved in psychology is going to be a major asset to being able to minister effectively to some of the things that are happening into these young people's lives. Listen, so even though she's doing all of that, it doesn't mean that she's just stuck in that one phase. All right. So I want you to understand, this is the last thing I want you to remember. You were born with and for a purpose. And that purpose may incorporate a lot of minor things. Do not, my friends, I'm saying this to you again, do not negate or put off anything that might help you be a better you. All right. So it doesn't matter. You can, in church, especially when you're building church, you wear a lot of different hats. on your job, they may ask you to do something that may not necessarily be in your job description. But you might want to do those things in order to build up who you are, and eventually you'll find out that those things will help you in your overall purpose in life. So my friends, I want to encourage you that your purpose, listen to me, may be multifaceted. And I want you, my friends, to make sure that everything that you have attempted to do in your life, everything that you have done in your life, know that all those things are going to come together for a overall purpose in your life. That's right. I did some things. I sold drugs. I ran gangs. I've worked. I've done counseling. I've taught in the school system. So many things that I've done. But all of that right now is working together for my overall purpose in the ministry of the kingdom. So listen, I love you all so much, and I want you to remember that your purpose is multifaceted. God bless you. I love you. We'll be back here next week. Next week, we're going to move into, let's see where we're going next week. Your purpose is interdependent. That's right. Next week, we're going to be talking about your purpose being interdependent. Not independent, but interdependent, meaning that they are going to come together. They work together. The Bible says that a three-band cord is not easily broken. So next week, my friends, meet me right back here. Same place, same time. God bless you, and I love you with the love of the Lord. See you next week.